Am I the jerk for hiding my snacks so my dad won't steal them and not telling him? I am a 14-year-old female and have a father in his 40s who is well known in our family for eating everyone else's snacks. My mother takes my siblings, who are a 16-year-old female, a 13-year-old male, and a 12-year-old female, and me to shop for snacks every week, and we each pick the things we like. We have an agreement between us to ask before sharing. We've also asked our father to ask before taking our snacks. He always says he will, but he never does. If we do not eat the snacks we bought in 24 hours, you can bet they are already gone. My siblings and I are sick of this. We've tried everything. We say, "Hey Dad, I bought a snacky. I'm saving it for later. Please ask if you'd like some." That does not work. We tried telling our mother, but she said that he is tired and deserves it. That does not work either. However, our mother has a lot on her plate right now, so we do not push her further. This has been an issue for a few months now. Last week, I came back from a really bad day at school. I was really tired and looking forward to eating the specific snack that I bought. It was eaten. I found my father passed out in his room with the snack bag wide open. I was mad, but I did not want to start a fight, so I got something else and left. Now I have started hiding my snacks in my closet instead of the pantry, because I know my father would not dare look in my closet. I also let my siblings hide some of their stuff in there too. My father noticed this and complained that there were not many snacks. It was about 2 weeks before he found out about our secret stash. My father called me an antagonist, saying that snacks are meant to be shared and anything in this house was fair game because we are all a family. I told him that if he wanted snacks, he could go out and get his own. He has a driver's license, and my siblings and I do not. The nearest supermarket is too far to walk to. He called me childish, and I said, "Of course I'm childish, I'm a child." I was almost about to say I'm a child, but what's your excuse? But I did not think that was a smart idea, so I just left. I am starting to think he is right about the sharing thing, and I feel selfish because it is just a snack. However, I also think it is not fair because he can get snacks whenever he chooses to, and my siblings and I cannot. Am I the antagonist? I buy my snacks with my own money I earned from my job. My sister, who is 16 years old, also buys with her own money. My brother, who is 13 years old, and my sister, who is 12 years old, use our mother's money. Also, I want to add that my father is perfectly capable of getting snacks himself if he wanted to. He has no disabilities or situations that would prevent him from doing so. He is unemployed if that matters. I want criticism, but please do not name call me. I've had enough of that over the last few years. If you aggressively name call me, I'm not replying. You acted correctly. Both your parents are awful. Your dad shouldn't be eating everything you guys pick out, and your mom should be dealing with him. He's weaponizing his role as an adult to steal from his kids and doesn't deserve your snacks when he disrespectfully takes them. He's not a toddler. He knows how to be respectful but chooses not to. Hide the snacks better, get fake snacks for the kitchen, and maybe invest in a snack safe that only you and your siblings can access. Am I the jerk for canceling plans with my parents at the last minute because of my in-laws? So my parents and my in-laws have never gotten along. My husband and I have been married for 2 years. My parents live near us and my in-laws are visiting us from India, living with us for a few days. My parents wanted to come over today to say hi to my in-laws. My mom said she would be bringing over something she cooked. My in-laws obviously have jet lag and were still napping till late evening. I asked my parents what time they would be coming since they hadn't let me know. My mom said they'd be over in 30 minutes. I told my husband to wake his parents up and he was reluctant, saying he felt bad since they arrived just yesterday and hadn't slept well the previous night. I told him my parents would be coming over soon as agreed upon, and his parents probably shouldn't sleep longer if they were to get out of jet lag and adjust to the time difference. He didn't want to and tried calling my mom to explain it to her. She didn't pick up. I texted her that they're asleep and asked her to come tomorrow morning. She didn't respond but simply texted they're on their way over. They came over and as expected she expressed her frustration to my husband. His parents were still asleep in their room. She said how she and my dad felt disrespected that my in-laws didn't have the courtesy to wake up. I told her it wasn't their fault. I explained if the tables were turned and it was my parents in jet lag and asleep, I wouldn't wake them up either. They disagreed. The fact that my mom knew the situation, yet showed up and started creating a scene in our home, embarrassed me. She started raising her voice because she felt my husband was being rude to her. They walked out in anger. I couldn't believe she started raising her voice, knowing my in-laws could hear. Were my husband and I being unreasonable? I understand that my mom spent all day cooking an Indian dessert for my in-laws, and we had agreed they would be coming over to say hi. But I also understand my husband's point of view to give his parents rest, and plans can change. Now my parents aren't on good terms with me or my husband, being very offended by my husband not waking up his parents in time and disrespecting them. I have no idea what to do. I agree we should have probably told his parents what time my parents would be coming over. There were gaps in communication, I agree. But that still doesn't give my mother the right to come into our home, ready for a fight and raising her voice. Am I the wrong person here? Seems like the whole thing was a power play on the parents' part, and they could and should have been a whole lot more considerate. It would have made sense to immediately tell your mother that 30 minutes was too soon if they live close by. No one would ever want to wake up and have only 30 minutes to prepare to meet with guests. Your husband was right to feel bad about waking his parents up, especially considering they were adjusting to the time difference. Am I the jerk for telling my family most of them can't cook, so I'm not taking part in bi-weekly family dinners anymore? It has taken me such a long time to be more open about this, but now that I, a 23-year-old male, have bought a place with my girlfriend, I feel like I had to share my story. However, I might be seen as being unreasonable for it. My family has always valued home cooking and family meals, but when I was growing up, none of us had any culinary skills, and the food was terrible. I always tossed my homemade lunch at school and took the free lunches provided. When I was old enough, I would sneak sandwiches and get rid of the evidence of not eating the meals my parents prepared. For example, the bad cooking included soggy chicken and almost mushy vegetables, lumpy mashed potatoes, unseasoned food, super dry beef, excessively soggy potatoes, and undercooked bacon. When I was a teenager, one of my sisters, Eve, became really interested in cooking and started making food twice a week. Her cooking was even worse than what we normally had. Other people avoided our house because nobody wanted to eat the food. I remember my mother trying to invite a group of her friends over, but they made excuses to go out to eat instead. When I moved away from home to start trade school, I decided I needed to learn to cook well. I did not want to always hate cooking because I was bad at it. I did not want to waste money on takeout, and I knew that if I settled down with someone, I wanted to contribute equally. My other sister, Ash, also worked on her cooking skills and improved significantly. My parents, Eve, and my brothers, however, have not improved. My mother and Eve are by far the worst. As an adult, I suggested that we each bring a dish and stop taking turns cooking everything for family meals, but my suggestion was rejected. I brought my girlfriend with me a few times, and she disliked most of the food. Some of my brothers might be passing off store-bought food as their own cooking, and my girlfriend enjoyed Ash's cooking. Ash was also in favor of changing the way we did dinner, but nobody else wanted to participate. Eventually, I started saying I was busy when family dinners were planned, and then I said it just did not work for my schedule anymore. However, my parents and some of my siblings did not accept this and insisted that I make my schedule work for family dinners. When they pushed me for a reason, I told them I did not want to subject myself to their cooking anymore because most of them could not cook. I reminded them that they had been told this by others before, and I refused to pretend any longer. They were very offended by my comments. Ash also spoke up and said she agreed, and she was also seen as the bad person. They accused us of getting too used to processed food instead of home cooking and said we should appreciate the time with our family, as food is love. They accused us of throwing away love and being rude about their skills. Am I the asshole? You are not in the wrong. Sure, we would love to come for family time, but we'll be bringing our own food. If that's not acceptable, then I guess family time isn't as important as you said it was. When visiting family, sometimes eating out or bringing your own food is the best way to keep everyone happy. Am I the jerk for telling my mother to stop babying my sister instead of showing gratitude for paying for my college? My sister Dylan just started her first year of college. Our mother joined a parent Facebook group for the university. No big deal, but then our mother made a post along the lines of, "My daughter Dylan is 18 and starting her freshman year. I'm looking for friends for her. Please reach out if you're interested." Our mother did not seem to see anything wrong with it because her own friend thought it was sweet. Everyone else I talked to told me that they thought what I did, which is that Dylan is too old to be doing something like this. She is not 10, and even doing this at that age would be questionable in my opinion. I also found out after talking to our mother that she has been trying to email Dylan's professors on Dylan's behalf to ask for special treatment. For example, asking that Dylan be allowed to eat snacks in her lab. Our mother is frustrated because they are not responding back. Our mother has definitely always been a helicopter to Dylan, but this was just a whole new level. Mother reached out to me this time because Dylan is in her 3rd week of school and has not really met anyone yet. Our mother told me that a few parents from the Facebook group sent her their children's numbers, but none of the children responded back to Dylan, which upset Dylan. Our mother asked me if I could try reaching out to other students at Dylan's school and asking them to be my sister's friends. She also asked if I could potentially find someone working within an office or an administration council to address why Dylan's professors have not replied back to our mother. I told her that this was insane. I never even went to Dylan's college. How would I have an easier time getting in touch with people there than Dylan would? I told our mother that, furthermore, she needs to stop babying Dylan. I would be mortified if she had done something like that to me in my freshman year of college. She is way too old for this, and Dylan needs to find her own way socially. Our mother called me ungrateful because she paid for my college, which she had no obligation to do after I turned 18. She said I could have done this one thing to help her and my sister. I understand she had no obligation to help with my college, and I am grateful she helped. But what I said was something that she needed to hear about Dylan. I talked to my friends, and while they all agreed that what my mother was asking was crazy, most said I had better ways to deal with it than starting a fight. They said that I could have pretended to reach out to people and then claimed I had no luck, just to make her feel better. Am I the antagonist? Oh no, she didn't. Your poor sister doesn't realize how mortifyingly embarrassing your mother's outreach is, and how it's made her a social pariah. Nobody is going to respond to your mom. Dylan is an adult, so no professor, TA, or anyone at her college will respond to a third party. Either your sister is going to break free and go wild, or be the dorm outcast. Am I the jerk for calling my ex ignorant because my child doesn't want to play football? I am a 35-year-old female and have 2 boys, who are 11 and 9 years old, with my 37-year-old ex-husband. My 11-year-old son, Gigi, just started 6th grade middle school. He chose to be in the band to play the trumpet and pre-athletics to play basketball and soccer in 7th and 8th grade. My ex-husband and I split up 8 years ago. The kids live with me and only stay with my ex-husband every other weekend. My ex-husband lives with his siblings, all of whom are men. Everyone who knows my ex-husband is aware of his very misogynistic views. My son, GJ, has been in sports since he was young. He has always favored soccer and also loves music. He has always been described by his teachers as a very charismatic and confident student. This morning, my ex-husband, who I will call Tony, messaged me saying he was not having a good day. When I asked why, he said it was because he does not like that Gigi does not want to play middle school football. He compared Gigi to other boys around him and said, Gigi is not on the same level as other boys because he does not want to play football. Every time he tries to toughen Gigi up, Gigi walks away. I have taught my boys that when someone is disrespecting them, they should walk away even if it is an adult. I also do not condone violence, but they know that it is okay to defend themselves. Tony then followed it with, it's because they're around you too much. My ex-husband was also mad that G chose the trumpet over percussion. My ex-husband did not play sports and dropped out of high school in his sophomore year. This is not the first time that I have received messages like this, so I was quite upset after he sent me this message again. I replied, GA is a normal kid. He likes music and sports, and the fact that you're upset because he doesn't want to do football annoys me. He wants to play soccer and basketball. Just because he doesn't want to do football doesn't make him less of a boy, and the fact that you think so shows your ignorance. He replied, you're a girl, so of course you don't see anything wrong with it, shaking my head. Apparently, my ex-husband thinks that the epitome of manhood is playing football. I think that it is better to let Jack make his own choices, so he does not lose interest. My son is happy with his choices and is very excited to be playing the trumpet and basketball. I reached out to my best friend and my parents and they all seem to agree with me, but Tony still thinks I am wrong. So, am I the antagonist? You did nothing to deserve criticism. Keep supporting your son and exploring the activities he is interested in. The ex's opinion is absurd either way, but it's hilarious that he thinks not playing football makes someone less of a man. Complaining that your son plays the world's most popular sport and doesn't understand because he's not a man is just ridiculous. OP definitely made the right call by moving on from that situation. Am I the jerk for not including my dad in my mom's surprise party? I am a 26-year-old female who threw my mom a surprise 50th birthday party yesterday and did not tell my dad, a 54-year-old male, until the last minute. In the past, he has deliberately ruined things for absolutely no reason other than to hurt my mom or someone else in the family. I managed to get my mom to the party with it still a surprise, and it was a success until someone asked where my dad was. So I sent my boyfriend to get him about 5 minutes into the party. My boyfriend returned without my dad, so I called him, but there was no answer. My mom also called, but there was no answer. My dad's sister was at the party and told me he spoke to her and was upset that we did not invite him and did not want him there. I called him again to ask if he was coming, and his response was, coming where? If you wanted me there, you would have invited me. I explained that was why I sent someone to get him, but he hung up on me. I texted him that this was for mom and asked him to please come for her sake. He did show up, but not for good. He came into the party screaming that we waited until the party was over to invite him, which was obviously not true because the party was still going on. He claimed we waited 2 hours after it started to tell him, even though my boyfriend was there to pick him up 5 minutes after it started. After he finished screaming in the middle of the party, he left again, and my mom went to the bathroom crying. After we got home, he continued making up lies about how we did not invite him, or only told him after the party was over. This morning, before my mom went to work, he was screaming at her, saying we just did not want him there, and repeating the same things as the day before. I do feel bad that we did not include him until the last minute, because I wanted it to be special for my mom. If I had told him before the party, he would have told her on purpose, or made her feel so bad that she would not have gone. So I did what I thought was best. I understand he may be hurt, and I do want to apologize for not asking if he wanted to be inside when she walked in. But I find it hard to apologize when he has been screaming at us and not acting like someone who was hurt. He would have ruined it either way. This way he is hurt. If I told him before, my mom would be hurt. Am I the asshole for not telling him earlier? You acted correctly. Your father is definitely in the wrong here, being verbally and emotionally abusive. Sadly, he still found a way to ruin the party and hurt your mom. Don't apologize and continue making plans without him. Thanks for watching. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. To finish listening to all the stories, check out the playlist in the description.